Alright, hey guys, I've got another update. Just a handful of changes this time around, but some good ones. Fair number of visual changes I wish to share. A lot of fixes and a lot of changes to my plugin have also occurred over the past couple of weeks. I'll try and keep this video to way under 45 minutes. I do apologize for the last one. So let's just jump straight into the editor. And so one of the visual changes, a couple, but one noticeable one here are the circles or the ellipses that are displayed. It's no longer showing 6. This will actually represent the full range of views that BigBox supports. I've added as many as I could for the time being. I just wanted to test out the logic. White signals current selected view, horizontal wheel 1 games, for example. Solid versus empty represents there's actually configuration. Basically you've added some UI settings to that view, so there's something behind it. So for example, if I click this one, there's nothing to show, okay, as opposed to something that's solid. Alright, so I thought that was kind of neat, and obviously you want to be able to define whatever view you want according to what's available in BigBox. So this is my way of achieving it. You've got a fast track method of getting to a particular view now, just by selecting from the drop down. So that's one of the major changes to this particular screen. There is one more up in the context menu, and I'll cover that one towards the end, okay? But we'll go straight into the editor, and I'm actually going to go into text games because I think that's where I did most of the configuration changes last time. So we'll go straight in. So some of the things that I've added here, right off the bat, I've added icons to the UI elements just so that they kind of stand out, and I think I kind of hinted at that in the last video. So it's just my stab at what I think some of these UI elements and some of the icons associated with them should be. I didn't draw them, I just stole them. So it's good enough for the time being. Obviously some are missing, but it just gives me an idea of you know, where I can take this. And the same is true when you wish to add a UI element to the view. Again, you have the same icons being displayed here. Obviously I got one missing, but again, you know, once I find the icons out there, or if worst comes to the worst, I'll have to draw one. I'll fill in the blanks. But anyway, I thought that was kind of a neat way of representing, and a fast way for your eyes to kind of home in on a particular UI element, because it can get busy. The more and more complex your view gets, then obviously this list is going to be quite long, and you know, you don't want to be spending, you know, minutes reading every single entry on the screen to make sure it's the one that you're looking for. Anyway, so icons was a biggie. Smart guides, extremely useful, and so let me just show you. By default it's on, as you can see. Let me pick up, well, I can pick up anything, it doesn't really matter, does it? So like the video, for example, as you can see, I've got focus on the video. That was there before, but the blue now indicates that it's level with another UI element from the top and on the left here, and as you can see at the bottom, and on the left and right here. So as I move it around, but also it will detect, let's see, there you go, if you can see that, the yellow is signaling the fact that it's actually centered with another UI element. In this case, it looks like it might be, let's see, what is it level with? It's hard to say, because it's not like I was looking for something here. It's probably one of this here, the last played date. So the center of that font, that's what it looks like it's centered with. But anyway, it's scanning for every UI element on the screen, and it's looking for the center position as well as top, left, right, and bottom markers. And I'll use a completely different view later, or a different theme in fact, just to show how useful this will be. But anyone that's familiar with any kind of Photoshop or any other graphics package out there, they're familiar with this. So let's see, what else was there? I'm looking at my cheat sheet. Oh yeah, UI elements, star ratings. What I've done with star ratings here, let me switch off Smart Guides. Let's see, is it star ratings? Yeah. See, and again, and I'm having a hard time looking for, so like star rating, what was it? Oh yeah, so you can now specify the folder that contains the star ratings. Okay, so again, when you define a theme to the editor, you have a media folder that you can dump subfolders into, and those subfolders are represented here. So you can redirect where you want to grab these images from. Okay. And I'll give you an example of how this can be utilized actually, because I've got two ESRB folders, different styles. In this case, I've only got one style for user ratings or star ratings, so that's all I've got on the system, so I can't show you different styles here. But anyway, yeah, star rating, you can now override and say, yeah, I want to grab the graphics from a different folder. I thought that was kind of useful. And obviously they're not in border overlays, so let me just put them back to star rating. Okay, let's see, star rating. Oh yeah, so I managed ESRB. Same here. And so over here on the middle left, I said that you can direct it, see? You can direct it. And then what you can do, this fallback means that if the value stored in Launchbox is null or blank, or basically what you can do is say, you know what, I've got an image that says not rated, or whatever the fallback or default image you want it to be, at least some image will be displayed as opposed to a blank or an empty space. So in this case, I actually have a ping that says not rated, and then you can pick that one. And then, obviously if it encounters a null or a blank, then it will use that one. So you'll always have something. So that was a change there on ESRB. I thought that was kind of useful. And I'm going to use that similar kind of logic for the remaining UI elements too when I get to them. Let's see, genre variable. So for genre over here, which I've marked as a variable, these text variables, okay. This one was kind of interesting. So for this one, Launchbox, these values are stored with a semicolon separated entry, I think up to 4. I believe it stores. So anyway, on here you can say, hey, I only just want to show the first one, okay? Whatever you want. Or you can show two, and any time that you show more than one, then it will then place a comma and space separating the genre values. Okay, so it just makes it a little bit neater from a presentation perspective, that's all. Let's see, so I had it set to 4. All right. Yeah, and of course, it all depends. If you want to add trimming and wrapping and all that kind of good stuff, that's all well and good. Let's see. Same is true for play mode. Yeah. So play mode, similar kind of deal. Obviously, this example is for this particular game. It's only showing single player. I tell you what, I'm going to jump out. Let me go into PlayStation 2 maybe? Yeah, let me move the video back here. Alright. Again, I want to pick a game that's at least using multiple values here, because it's kind of number of players. Of course, I'm picking one that's got, there you go. Yeah, and again, cooperative, multiplayer. Let me just hop into there real quick. Real quick. So on play mode, I've got it set to max number of 4 entries, and I've left enough space here so it will wrap. And I've also got it on trimming as well. Okay, so if it exceeds that block, that rectangular space, then you'll get the dot. Now the other thing that I wanted to show was this default value, and there was one that I did see with a default value. Of course I'm looking for it, I can't find one now. There you go, here we go. Here we go. Number of players, yeah. So as you can see, the value coming back from Launchbox is null or blank, okay? And perhaps you don't want to show, an empty space, and you want something in there in its place. So it's up to you what you want to do. You can do that. Whatever you want to do. I just put a gnome in there. All right. I thought that was kind of useful. I think I did the same with genre as well, come to think of it. Did I not? No. Let's see. I thought I did. Yeah, I did. So, and the same is true for region. Okay. So for region, you can have the default value as whatever you want, question mark, not applicable, or I don't know, what a question mark. In my case, I said unknown. All right. Let's see. And then let me discard this one. Oh yeah, so as you can see here, I have a screenshot. So I've added the screenshot UI element. And then clear logo, where are you? Did I not add it to here? Let's see. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, and these are my custom clear logos that I have, that I was using for my last theme that I had developed in native XAML, PASC 3.0. obviously you can still do the same alignment, uniform to fill, all that kind of good stuff. Alright, so I've added that UI element. Alright, so I'm just going to delete that. It has no place in this thing. Now, something I just recently modified, and that is the color picker and gradient editor. Oh, I've added title finally as well. So let's see. Actually, title will be a good one because it's a good size. It would actually show off the color, would it not? Let's see. Yeah, okay. Let's modify the title. Now what I've done here is left click either on, let's say if I had a solid color, left click color picker, okay, right click WPF color selector. Okay, so if you want to select transparent, for example, this is the way that you would have to go. You would select the WPF color instead. All right, so I'm going to switch back to linear gradient. I don't want to screw things up. So let's say right click. I don't know what this is going to do. So, I mean, I don't know what it's going to do by picking transparent. Look a bit funky, I think. Yeah. It's not the best example of this, but anyway, my point being is that you can utilize the WPF colors. You could use them before, I just didn't have any way of enabling the user to select them. Anyway, they're there now, and I think that's extremely useful. And one thing I added as well is as you move the gradients, you can actually see the percentage. So if you actually want equal start points now, you can actually see that. So for example, 80% on that one, and then you want 20% on that one. Okay, so just little tweaks. All right, so okay, that's pretty much it from a visual perspective. But what I do want to do, because I was completely blown away by Farron's new theme that he had uploaded 2 days ago now. And like with most themes, when I come across them, I'm like, I want to be able to see if I can replicate, the look and feel within the editor. So that's what I was shooting for. So what I ended up doing, let's see, I'm gonna start from fresh here, text games view. Okay, so yeah, I thought this was kind of neat, where it forces mandatory UI elements into a view. Okay, so what I want fan art, medium blur, something like that. Wheel, I'll figure that one out in a minute. Actually, what I want to do is pick something that's using more kind of full screen. So let me just pick GameCube real quick. Yeah. Let's do that. Okay, yeah, this is better. All right, so I'm doing this by memory. So we have a title for sure, the game title. I don't know, let's see, font, one of my favorite fonts. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Screw it. Move it all the way over. Yeah. And then vertical alignment bottom to allow for extra text. Yeah, then it'll bounce up. Okay. And then, let's see, do we want wrapping? Yeah, we want wrap. And then we want trimming. We'll do word ellipse. And then, not too worried about the effect at the moment. Not really. Alright. So let's do 10. I'll do my usual. It's very dark. I don't know. 80% will do it for now. Alright, so it was title. It was real simple. That's why I liked his theme. It's real clean. It was title, date, publisher. And let's see. I want, yeah. Something like that. I'm going to cheat. And I want to paste let's see. I don't think I want the font size. Yeah, I don't. What is it in publisher? Yeah, I don't know what size. I don't know, half of that, I guess. I could have sworn there was more than 3 elements. Let me see, was it platform? So yeah, I think that's how it went. I think it was let's see. Yeah, it was to this effect, I think. And as you can see, the smart guides are kicking in here. There you go. I don't know. I really don't know. All right. Alright, so anyway, let's do the colors real quick. I don't know, let's see. Ooh. I don't like that. Alright, so let me copy that real quick, and then I just want, there you go. Alright, so wheel, I think he had the text wheel off to the right somewhere. And because the wheels are going to be the last things that I work on, there's no color attribute, there's no real, I can't add effects to it or anything like that, so I'm going to have to kind of fake it out right now with a frame, okay? So he had something like, I can't remember if it had opacity set or not. Let's see, where are you? About there? About here? Okay. So let's go back to the wheel for now. All right, and then video. GameCube, right? So it'll be kind of widescreenish. All right, and then box art. Let's see. Want just flat. As you can see, I've got uniform on. Now I could cheat and just flip this to stretch, and you know what? I could get away with that for most of the games. But I'll just leave it as is. And then I think he had like a little frame on the left, like a little doodad over here. He did something like that, I can't remember. Something like that. And then, let's see. Now he had this, I remember. He had this level with the game. So it just shows you how much I was paying attention. Alright, okay, so that was level with the box. There you go. And then, yeah, something like that. Well, it doesn't look half bad. And then I want to add another frame. I think this was using some opacity doodad as well. Alright, something like that. If memory serves. I can't remember what he was putting in there. You know, I could, what I could do is add a frame and a frame. Yeah, let me do that. Center it. Yeah, let's make it level with the video. Okay. And then what I'm going to do here, background. Actually, this is where I can cheat, and I can simply just say background is going to be transparent, and then foreground, border thickness left and right, and then foreground, let's see, I want a linear gradient and I want it going up and down. I want transparent. And then I want transparent. Equal, so what, 25% and 75%? Let's see. Yeah, could do that. Alright, and the point being is, because I want to add notes, and we're going to put it here. You want to center that. Might as well be consistent with the fonts. I don't know, 20. 18 maybe, and then alignment, yeah, center, background, I'm loving this WPF color selection. Cool. Let's see, it's not perfect. Good now. Let's get it centered. Alright, now that's good enough. Let me see, do I want to add ESRB in there just for grins, just to do that real quick. And again, it's set to uniform. Let me just center it, bring it in. I'm going to leave that for now. Now, this is something I never even thought of doing, and that's what stood out. So he used Farron added fan art, but then he used a bokeh effect over the top of that, which I thought was real cool. So in order to do the same thing now, I'm going to add an image, and we have some here. Alright, and that's not going to serve anyone, so let's just push it above the fan art, and then do that. So you have red, or this one with multiple colors, and that is the one I'm going to stick with. Alright, so that sits, let me just recap here, that sits above fan art with 70% opacity, sits below the wheel. Okay, so it sits below all the UI elements but sits above fan art. Okay, that's good enough. Alright, so let's just go down through the list on here just so we get a rough idea of what it will look like as we're going through different fan art. So it's blurred, but you got this kind of coloration over the top kind of effect. I think that's kind of cool. Alright, now what I want to do, I want to copy this and I want to go to text filters, and I'm going to paste, and obviously we don't have video and all that kind of good stuff, but that's okay. We have platform selection. It's just to get us in there. Okay, that's good enough. Nintendo GameCube, yeah. Okay, whatever. Alright. Now, the one option I did not show you from here, it's kind of a big one. Let me see. It's kind of neat. So, we have the different themes here. I'm going to destroy. Let me just make sure. Okay, it's gone. All right. So these are the themes I have. And now what we're going to do, we're going to be able to build our theme. So we've now created the theme. It's available here. You can now use it in BigBox, apparently. And as you can see, it's now come back. All right, so you got your theme settings. And ultimately, whatever view that you populate or create via the editor, it will update the theme settings as well, so that any view that you didn't utilize, it will set to disabled in the theme settings. Okay, that's the premise behind that. Let's have a look at views. It generated the XAML. Yes, it's actually a code generator now. So it's generated the XAML. I don't have Notepad++ on here. So it generated the XAML for these views on here. And let's see, plugins were automatically copied over here. Fonts, that is actually incorrect. It's missing a font. Interesting. It should have had the this font. Okay. Anyway, point being is it should package everything up and place everything in the theme. That's a real bummer because that has been working. All right. So what I want to do now is fire up BigBox and go to this theme. And I've actually been having problems running BigBox and my plugin on this computer. It's been working on 2 out of 3 machines, so I don't know what the problem is. And this is a brand new desktop that I'm using too, so for the life of me I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's go to this. And I haven't even gotten to using the styles or anything like that yet. I haven't even caught up with most of the updates, other than just making a mental note of what I need to go back and take a look at. Alright, so let's go to Nintendo GameCube. Which runs at 720p. Okay. So what I want to do is come out, and as luck would have it, I have my GPD Win 2 already connected, and go into themes. Okay, so you can see I don't have that. I'm going to just simply take this and paste it. Alright, there really wasn't much to, because I only had a couple of images and whatnot. Alright, so if you excuse me one sec, what I'm going to do is grab my GPD Win 2. And I'm just going to show you the screen image itself on the camera. I'm not going to do a live stream or stream from the GPD Win 2, so just bear with me. Alright, so we're going to fire this up. And that was always one of the time-consuming tasks of developing themes in natively. When I say native, going through Notepad++, which I think most of us were doing. So with the exception of not being able to do it visually, the second thing was getting these bloody themes to work on multiple aspect ratios and resolutions and DPI and all that kind of good stuff. That was always a pain, and I always remember, towards the very end of almost completing a theme, I'm running it on multiple systems. It's crazy. Okay, so I've got the GPD Win 2 powered on. I'm opening up BigBox. And what I'll do, I'll go around the camera and I'll show you this screen. Hopefully it's not wanting to do any updates. Okay. Just thinking about it. All right, cool. So let me come around the other side. Let's see if I can show you what's going on. It's going to be a bit difficult because I can't see what's going on in front of me. All right, this looks okay. So if we go to GameCube, hopefully you can see that it's placed everything where it should. So, you know, and to be honest, I wouldn't expect it to be much of an issue to go from 4K down to 720p anyway, because the aspect ratio is identical. But I do all my development on a laptop, and it's not 4K, it's very strange resolution. It's not 4:3 and it's not 16:9, it's somewhere in between, and it's not quite 4K and it's not quite, you know. But anyway, my point being is that I can develop, you know, as I'm testing out a theme or whatnot on my laptop, and, you know, I'm just copying these folders over to my desktop running in 4K, and I pop them up and they run just fine. And, you know, obviously I've set up certain images to be stretch and all that kind of stuff, because I've made it kind of aspect ratio independent, so or agnostic, so it doesn't matter, and it's fine. Everything is where it's supposed to be. It's great. But anyway, that is my recent update, and again, you know, I was just showing, you know, a shout out for Farron's new theme, because like I said, I was just blown away by its simplicity and cleanliness. So anyway, I wanted to show you some of the things that you can do in the editor, and, you know, obviously, you know, leveraging his UI in this demo. Okay, so anyway, I will put together another video in a couple more weeks, and hopefully I'll have the majority of the code in place. My to-do list is extremely short, so wheels are on the list, albeit towards the bottom, adding transitions and storyboarding, and the remaining UI elements. That's pretty much all I've got. Big stuff. And then the smaller stuff will be the ability to go in through the context menu on the main screen, and you can create a new theme, give it a name, you can rename that theme, you can delete a theme. So basically theme maintenance. And that's it. That's pretty much all I've got left. So my to-do list is very, very short, which is just as well, because I actually want to start building themes. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching if you've managed to get to this very end. And again, if it's already hitting 40 minutes, my apologies. All right, but again, thanks a lot.